Finding the appropriate level for exercise while you're pregnant can be a complicated thing for many of us. When I am pregnant, so I got this question asking, how do I change my exercises as I vary through each trimester? One of the things that I want to really encourage you is that you know your body the best, and obviously I can't assess you from behind the camera, but what I can do is just give you just some helpful tips that may help you along your journey. The way that I change my exercises is I just listen to my body. Each pregnancy has felt different for me, and I've enjoyed things for each pregnancy and some things I've not enjoyed at all. With McCarthy, my first, I loved doing yoga. Boot camp, spin, loved it all. It felt great doing it. And the same with Bennett. I was hugely into yoga, lots of boot camp, and lots of weightlifting. This third pregnancy, I have hated yoga. My body has not liked it at all, and I encourage you to do yoga while you are pregnant. But if your body is not loving it, maybe focus on something like an easy yoga. I love easy yoga right now because I feel like it just almost like nourishes my body and it really allows me to relax. But anything like a power or a vinyasa just does not feel great for me right now. With this pregnancy, I've struggled with lots of heartburn during yoga. And so I've avoided it. I've done exactly what's felt great for my body. And this pregnancy, lifting a lot of heavy weights has not felt great. So I've kept my weights a little bit lighter, my repetitions higher, and I've also introduced a lot of bar. This has actually been the most comfortable pregnancy that I have gone through so far. And when I got pregnant with my third, people said, get ready for sore hips and just pretty much being miserable. That does not have to be the case for your body. You can get better as your pregnancies go along. Bar is something where it really takes your muscles and almost pulls them together. So as our hips get wider, it almost creates like a stability in our hips. So there's been no soreness in the hips or the low back for me. And I feel like I owe a lot of this to my bar practice. I do bar 3 times a week. And so I'm very consistent with my workouts. So I would say listen to your body, what feels right for you. Some things like running. If you are feeling quite sick in your first trimester, maybe take your run into a quick paced walk. Second trimester, if you're feeling better, go back to your running and jogging. If it feels good for you, then absolutely do it. There's also things like belly bands you can get. There's different exercise companies, which I'll actually list below this video, you can order from, and they actually support your belly. They're almost like a little tensor band, so it doesn't feel like it's putting as much weight on your body, and it actually does help quite a bit for your hips and just feeling comfortable. So continue to run and continue to spin for as long as it's comfortable for you. I am in my third trimester and I am still spinning, but my positions on the bike have changed. So when the instructor asked me to lean forward, I kind of keep myself a little bit more upright just because I feel as though I'm crushing a small person in my stomach. So do what works best for your body. Any instructor that's running in class is going to feel comfortable with you pulling it back and you modifying things as you need to. In terms of ab exercises, I've gotten asked a lot how long I've trained my abs. I train my abs right to the end. It's very, very important that you keep your abs strong in an appropriate way to give your lower back support. So we want to strengthen things like the pelvic floor and things like that. So there are exercises that I'm going to list for you guys to do. You can do a couple of these. And I keep my ab exercises very, very simple. So I'm not adding a lot of variance and lots of pressure on the low back and things like that. Something you want to watch for when you are doing abs is a little almost like bubble in the middle of your belly. So it almost looks like your belly is bubbling out a little bit in the center. We want to avoid that. So whenever you're doing abs, think as though you're closing the gap of your abs. So as you lean back, if you see that gap, don't go back quite as far. Things like that you really want to watch for in any pain on the lower back. So I hope this helps you feel a little bit more comfortable in your fitness journey as you are pregnant. And feel free to send in any questions or comments along your journey. And I would encourage you to seek out either a chiropractor or a physio that kind of knows your body and can give you some tips too for what's working really well. I have always used Corinne Wade. She is amazing at just knowing the pelvic floor and knowing the female body, and she's very, very open to getting your guys' questions. So feel free to email her, and I will leave the information for you guys. All right, enjoy the pregnancy.